Jeez. I understand, folks. We like Michael B. Jordan. No one's Eddie Murphy. I mean, no one is Eddie Murphy.
We're live on YouTube, by the way.
Well, good. No one, YouTube, no one is Eddie Murphy.
Hey, Eddie Murphy's supposed to be in this. Good. Eddie Murphy is playing Akeem.
Will it be his son?
It says Arsenio Hall is Simi.
That's
still.
good. That's who he was.
Sherry Headley's going to be Lisa McDowell.
Okay,
so that's still a thing.
Is Soul Glow involved?
There's a Jermaine Fowler.
Okay.
Jermaine Fowler. I don't know what he's going to be.
I thought we might have that, or maybe Chris Evans could play in this as well. We are live on Facebook.
What?
We're
live on YouTube.
YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I know Facebook. You're slighted. If I were to say to you, YouTube, that I accidentally called you Facebook, I'm sure you'll be upset. Because I know that somewhere... Does Twitter own... Is it YouTube and Twitter that are together? Jack Dorsey, is he involved with this?
What?
You guys know who Jack Dorsey is?
No.
He's the CEO. He's the CEO of
Jack
Twitter.
Dorsey, Shadow Recruit.
No, he's the CEO of Twitter.
He's the CEO of Twitter.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the COO of Twitter, James Dorsey. James
Earl Jones. Okay, tell me when you were ready to record the regular show. As you're filing in here, folks, you're filing in, and you're going to be so excited. Because today on the Actor Spotlight, we're going to talk about James Earl Jones. Then...
The James Earl Jones.
Yes, the James Earl Jones. From Darth Vader fame, from other great fames. And then we're going to talk on the main episode about the Lion King, the new Lion King. They train these animals so well. It's unbelievable that these animals could act this way. It's crazy.
I don't know how they got a lion to talk, but it's pretty impressive.
These lions, even the child. I rip on child actors on the show a lot, Paul.
Yes, you do.
But even these child animal actors are unbelievable. The little Simba is maybe the best child actor I've ever seen, and he's a lion. It's unbelievable.
Pretty
Could you
impressive.
believe that, Phil? Could you believe how good these child actors and all these animal actors were that they trained these animals? The sea lion show that you and I saw in Memphis that was so spot on. Mm-hmm. Do you think maybe the same trainer that trained that show trained these animals?
I feel like if you're training child actors, you can probably train an animal.
Wow. Man, Phil is working blue. All right. So, check this out, everybody. One time, check it out. I'm ready whenever you are to talk about James Earl Jones. He's not Sir James Earl Jones, is he?
He should be. He's not, but he should be.
If not, he should be. He's got a voice like you've never heard. I can't even do a good James Earl Jones. I won't be doing a James Earl Jones.
Simba.
And we're going to talk a bit about him. He's done some great stuff. I'm ready whenever you are, Phil.
Yeah, just go. Yeah.
Just going to go? Is there a signal?
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, we're going to have to do something different. Some things differently because we're on the PC. So, yeah, just whenever you're ready.
2,
This is just the Actor Spotlight anyways, so it doesn't matter how long it is.
Well, welcome to...
matter how...
Okay. We'll try it again. On me this time. We're going live. And me go. Count me in, Phil. 5, and then silent 2 and 1.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Okay. Welcome to Actor Spotlight. That's right. Everyone's favorite segment for the Horrible Movie Podcast. But this week on Actor Spotlight, we're talking about an American legend. An American treasure. A treasure, if you will. His name, James Earl Jones. J-E-J, as his friends call him. But you can call him James Earl Jones.
Or Jedge.
Or Jedge. Jedge Dredge. Jedge Dredge. He has acted for a while. Dr. Strangelove was the first movie he was in. And he has been a stalwart ever since then. Which, Dr. Strangelove, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that thing. Yikes. Fun times. He's in a great thing, The Comedians. He was in that in a semi-main role. And then, I'll tell you right now, Star Wars. Have you guys ever heard of Star Wars?
What's that?
It's a movie called Star Wars.
Is it about stars fighting?
It's about, in Hollywood. They have houses.
Yes.
It's about Cary Grant, who had a house right next to who did I say? Cary Grant, and right next to Dean Martin.
Yes.
And they would
That was
just
problematic.
fight. And no, I'm just joking. That's not really. Star Wars is a space movie. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's Star Wars.
In a galaxy long ago,
Gotcha.
far away. He is the voice, an iconic voice of Darth Vader. Phil, do you think there's any voice actor that is technically as big of a deal as James Earl Jones?
For voice acting?
Voice acting. He's played Darth Vader.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of a lot of good animated, but you're not talking about animated?
I'm talking about as far as iconic roles as a voice actor.
I always go to Mark Hamill for Joker.
I was about
Like
to say, Mark
that's one of my
Hamill's-
favorite voice acting jobs of all time.
But Darth Vader, still a bigger voice actor than voice acting role.
Certainly more recognized.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Hank
really looking
Azaria.
for Hank Azaria, but I'm saying
I
this
got you.
definitive
Okay.
role.
You're just.
I feel like you want.
definitive
I feel like you
role.
want me to say James Earl Jones.
The only other one I can think of in the same realm is Morgan Freeman when he voices God or a
Morgan
narrator
Freeman.
in something. I'm Morgan Freeman.
Patrick Warburton. Emperor's New Groove.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad I was affirmed. He was in The Exorcist. Let's talk about, actually, before we get that, let's talk about Star Wars. Before that, he was in a movie about Malcolm X, by the way, BT Dubs, which is an autobiographical film. And he was the narrator in that, so he is.
He does a lot of narration.
Yeah, he is James Earl Jones. Star Wars, what if Vader's voice was like this? Luke, I'm your father! See the difference?
Yeah,
I see it.
Then
We definitely-
or what if it was like if his voice was like, Luke, listen, I'm your dad. Okay, well,
Oh man.
what else? What's
I'm
a
gonna
good
need you to
example?
stop
What's one
that.
for you to do? What's an alternative? I mean, I'm just trying to get this point across. If you're listening and watching this on
Hey.
YouTube, if you're listening
Luke.
on the show,
Hey Luke, I'm your dad. I didn't know if you knew or not, but I thought I'd tell you. I'm your Paul.
Bernstein Bears or something. I feel you got to at least do one voice actor. You're a voice actor with a heart of gold.
Okay.
Hit it. You're Darth Vader. If James Earl Jones did not get it, this is the voice actor that would have gotten it. And Phil, go.
Luke, I am your father.
No, it can't be.
No,
I don't believe
no.
You sound, but you sound more like my mother.
Hey Luke, I'm your father.
Hey Luke, I'm your daddy. Who's your
Hey
daddy,
Luke.
Me.
That's what I wish Uncle Owen on there talked like. Like he's a farm. He's a what is he? What farmer? He's a what kind of farmer is he? They're like they just like basically water farmer basically. What's Owen? It literally is what he is. Like he runs like a hydration farm or something.
Ah.
And that's literally because on this planet it's a desert planet, so they're just trying to like. Uncle Owen's like a farmer basically. So I wish. Oh look, you can't go to the academy yet. You know, y'all can't go. Anyway, there you go. That's our voice actor. Luckily for us, Darth Vader was played by James Earl Jones.
Hey, look over here. I'm your dad.
Oh my gosh. The second Exorcist he was in. Obviously, he struck back with The Empire Strikes Back.
Driving Miss Daisy, 2014. What was that?
You know, in the original Star Wars, by the way, he was uncredited as an actor, a voice actor. Because
Really?
they treated voice acting not as a thing then. They're like, oh, it's just him talking. And then think about it now.
Yeah.
How it's treated now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Beyonce was it probably cost a lot more to be in Lion King than James Earl Jones to be Darth Vader. Look how that worked out. Conan the Barbarian he is in as well. He is in a little movie called Return of the Jedi. Soul Man in 1986. He was in another one we were talking about before we started going.
Bench warmers.
Coming to America. Let's go for that first. Coming to America. They're allegedly making a new one.
They are.
But let's talk about
It's
the
in
original. Did
pre-production.
you guys like the original Coming to
One of
America?
my favorite movies of all time. It kind of reminds me of my father.
He plays.
In a lot
He
of
plays
things, yeah.
Eddie Murphy's character's father, Hakeem.
Mhm.
Hakeem's father.
Hakeem's father.
And he
Hakeem,
plays
I
King
am your
Jaffe. Jaffer.
Yeah.
Jaffe Jaffer.
Hakeem.
Have you
Jaffe,
seen
Jaffe.
Coming to America?
No.
Are you kidding me, Phil?
You've missed out.
Is that a sin or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it kind
Phil.
of is.
It's an
You don't even know what
iconic
Soul Glow is, do
moment. It is an iconic moment in cinema.
you?
How dare you?
Mac Arnold's?
McDougal's.
McDougal's is the fake restaurant.
Phil,
But McDonald's
watch
exists
Okay,
in
I
it.
have a lot of movies I need to watch.
I'm just
all
saying
right.
we're gonna watch it together. is all I'm
Okay,
saying.
all
You
right.
can't
It's
keep
that
up
good.
with all these.
It's that good.
It is
Call
really,
me to
really,
the
man, it's
America.
really fun. I love it. Your dad got a citizenship and
Yeah.
sang it forever.
Loves that song.
He played Admiral James Greer in The Hunt for Red October. He was in Patriot Games as Admiral James Greer as well because it's all part of the that universe. The what is it? Which universe is it? The Tom Clancy novel universe stuff. And he's in The Sandlot as what's his name? It says Mr. Myrtle, but he's what's his actual name on there? It's like I can't remember, but he is the blind guy that has the beast tied up in his yard.
He's also in The Sandlot too, which
No one cares about that one.
Yeah, let's be honest. For every great movie, there's a not great movie.
I love The Sandlot. Have you seen The Sandlot?
Oh yeah, several times.
Okay, good. I was ready for him to be like,
I
no.
was about to walk out.
The Sandlot is possibly one of the best summertime movies you can possibly watch. My son has watched it. He loves it. He thinks it's great.
It's a great movie.
I always, who did I always really appreciate most on that movie?
The Great Bambino.
The
Son of
catcher.
Swa. Yeah.
The catcher.
Ham
He's
Porter.
back there behind it,
Ham
playing
Porter.
catcher, getting hot and sweaty. I loved it.
You play baseball like a girl.
What an insult it was on that movie. Then he played himself in a cameo on Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, which, by the way, I know some people are like, oh, the Naked Gun franchise, ugh. Some of my favorite, comedy. So silly. I love Mel Brooks, anything Mel Brooks has done, but I'm telling you right now, Leslie Nielsen's comedy in those movies, and Airplane and those, it's so good.
I feel like some people would say it deserves to be on this podcast.
It
some of
probably,
those-
and it
those
probably
movies.
does, but it's so slapstick that it's meant to be stupid, so it's hard to put it on there. And then the movie we're talking about this week, the original, who he plays the voice of Mufasa. So let's talk about this.
Yes.
He has done the voice for Darth Vader
Vader.
and Mufasa. It's a big freaking deal.
Those are two major.
Yes, and he
voice
plays the
roles.
blind guy on Sandlot,
Mm-hmm.
and he plays, who else did I say? He's the admiral on the two.
Jaffe Joffer. Coming to
and
America.
Jaffe Joffer, yeah. Man, he's on a lot of stuff. Lion King original. We'll talk about this in length on the regular show. But what a phenomenal animated movie.
My
Thoughts?
favorite movie of all time. I've
Whoa,
told you.
whoa.
The original animated Lion King. The Lion King is my favorite movie of all.
Not just animated, just all
I
movies.
love it. I still,
Wow.
every time I stay home sick, like if I stay home sick for work or I stay home with a kid that's sick from work, like we watch Lion King.
Really?
Every time.
I didn't know that about you.
Every
Okay.
single time. Love it. I remember, how about this? I grew up in Kansas City. We were my mom was trying to find this movie for me on tape, right? And the Kmart that was 20 miles from our house had it. It was the only one that still had it, in stock. And they were saving a copy for us, and we were driving to get it. And our giant conversion van breaks down on the way to get it. And we're stranded in the middle of not good Kansas City for 4 hours.
Sad.
Legit. And I didn't get it.
But
then,
luckily,
I did
a
get it.
warthog and a small woodland, whatever creature came along and helped you guys.
Meerkat.
A meerkat helped you guys.
They helped us, yeah. They
Get the rest
taught
of the way.
us a philosophy while we were there, just stranded. Hakuna Matata.
Hey man, Hakuna Matata, like you're on that side and you're like, oh.
What? It means no worries. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
That's if you.
James Earl Jones was born in 1931. He's 88 years old. Probably one of the oldest working actors in Hollywood.
Oh, I don't know about that. Is Chris Plummer still going?
I
How old is
don't
Chris
know.
Plummer? Or he passed
How
away?
old is-
I think he passed away.
Oh, man, you are the worst.
You're the worst.
I didn't mean to. I love Chris Plummer. He's in Edelweiss. 89. He's still acting.
Edelweiss.
Eli Wallach, 97. His last role was in Wall
Alf.
Street 2.
Oh,
Money
sorry.
Never Sleeps, 2010. That might
He may
It might not.
He may not
have
be
been
working.
recent enough.
Christopher
Betty
Plummer.
White, she's 90.
Okay, well, Christopher Plummer's 89. He's still working. So right now, for our show's purposes, the number one still working actress, number one actress still working is Betty White. The number one actor still working at that age is 89-year-old Christopher Plummer. Good job. Betty White's never been on this podcast. Christopher Plummer has been on this podcast.
Which movie?
National Treasure.
Okay.
He was the grandpa. He's Grandpa Gates, Benjamin Gates.
I'm Christopher Plummer.
Hi, I'm Christopher Plummer. Do you remember me from Sound of Music? Hi, I'm here to talk to you about Bucky's Truck Stop. That's right, Bucky's Truck Stop. 12 great locations in Texas, 1 in Alabama. We're here for you. We've got all the great things.
I'm Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
I've been in
20.
seven decades of movies.
Remember when my first payment was a Model T. C.C. DeMille gave it to me, and the rest is history. And I dated Betty White that year. And now we're back together. It's a circle of life.
What is happening?
It's the plot to Cocoon 4.
It was so
Okay,
fantastic.
we went off the rails. I love it. All right, so then he really ramped it up here. Fantasia 2000. Then he really ramped it up again. Now he did a bunch of a smattering of movies here. Judge Dredd, the original, he's the narrator, of course. He's in Clear and Present Danger before that as Admiral James Greer again. He's a recurring role for him. Casper, A Spirited Beginning. That's right. Direct to video. Casper, A Spirited Beginning. That's right about Casper the
He's
Friendly
got
Ghost.
a few of those things like the Lion Guard Return
He
of the
wants
Roar.
to get
He did-
paid.
Well, yeah,
He's
listen,
like Sam Jackson.
Listen,
He
don't
wants to
take
get
this
paid.
the wrong way, but I'm making money how I can make money.
me
If it's
too.
coming. You're going to throw some money my way, but it's
Heavens.
lend my voice for a few minutes.
Exactamundo.
Not a problem.
Exactamundo. Okay, so then Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. He did voice that one in 98. He was in, like I said earlier, Fantasia 2000. Not so good. Sandlot 2, again, directed to DVD. You said Benchwarmers, which has been on this show as well. It says voice role Darth Vader. I guess they used it for something else. He was in Click. Oh, and then he really hit his stride with Scary Movie 4. And then we have, let's see, Jack and the Beanstalk, which is another movie that I think could probably be on here that no one even cared about when it came out. And they're like, why did you make this movie about Jack and the Beanstalk? Who cares?
You know, this is
He was in
random.
Rogue One as Darth Vader. There you go.
Disney owes everybody an apology for Lion King 2.
Well, works.
It was
well,
such
you know
a-
what? Simba's Pride on DVD. You know, not the new one.
Yeah.
He was guys. He played Alex Haley in Roots on television. By the way, in 1977. That's a very big role for him. I want on all thoughts and honor to that. Him playing that role. He's been in a ton of television as himself. A lot as himself. And yeah.
According to Wikipedia, he's been in 83 movies.
Did you say Wikipedia?
Wikipedia.
Is this all Chewbacca-based pedia? Chewbacca does all the entries.
What was that second movie?
Okay,
for
say it
James
again.
Earl?
Sorry, I cut you off.
What about
What'd you think?
You didn't cut me off.
What was your facts?
That was it. He's been in 83 movies.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Okay, he's been in
Okay.
83
What
movies.
about
Okay,
the
sorry.
third movie that he's been in?
And honestly, the best role he's ever played was he was Darth Vader's voice in Star Wars Holiday Special, which has also been on this show as well. Love it. Okay, well, that's it. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on James Earl Jones? No. Born.
He played Santa Claus on the Disney cartoon Recess.
Yikes.
That's a great cartoon.
He wants to get paid. Born January 17th, 1931 in Arcabutla, Mississippi. There you go. He went to the University of Michigan. Didn't tell you guys that. So there it is. James Earl Jones. I think he's an Aquarius, as am I. We both have January birthdays. Born 6 days apart. And 4 decades. Almost 5. Almost 5 decades.
Almost 5 decades.
But we love him. We love you, James Earl Jones. Let's give it up for James Earl Jones, everybody. All right, I am ready for the regular episode. Folks, just remember, before we get to the regular stuff, hold on, Phil, don't hit stop. We are we're going to be putting in for our July. We just have just enough time left for this. You still have time to put in for the July drawing of the Amazon $50. I almost said $500. $50 gift card. You're going to go on Apple Podcasts, rate and reviews. 5 stars, please. Give us a review, positive review. Take a picture or a screenshot of that review and email it to jack@thehorriblemoviepodcast.com. Currently on Apple Podcasts, we have about 43 reviews. I want to get to 50.
$50.
I really want to get to 50 reviews. You guys can help us do that. Just go on there, take time, email me that screenshot of that review or picture of that review, either one. Jack@thehorriblemoviepodcast.com. You're not. Jack@thehorriblemoviepodcast.com. And then also, if you have Podbean, is when I found out you can do it through that one. And then the other one, I cannot remember which one we used. Stitcher is the other one. I think if you have a Stitcher, I could be wrong. Someone's going to correct me on that. But there you go. Excellent work, guys. Thumbs up. Good job. We want to get to 50 reviews on there. That's my goal. And you're going to get a great prize sponsored by the Horrible Movie Podcast. And it's great listeners because we love you guys. We heart you guys. I heart you so much it gives me a heart attack. All right, turn this off now. Quickly, Phil. Get me out of here. I'm losing it. Bye, guys. Tune into the main show.
You gotta read some of your reviews.
Well, we're on camera right now, so wait till later.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying.
Should I read them in some sort of...
There's some funny ones. They're good.
Yeah, some people are like, hey, I had to do this.
They made me do it.
Oh, well. Whatever. All right, well, on the in-between, let's just do this. We're excited. Are you excited about Lion King?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, dude. Ha! Oh.
All right, so
we're gonna have to do this the old school way, the way we used to do it, 11 and a half. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to do some math.
Okay.
So
do you have a timer?
And I'll try to get it working with my laptop.
Can you actually see a timer?
It's at the top. I don't know if there's a way to drop one down.
Sorry, guys.
The timeline is at the top.
30-second synopsis. Paul, you brought this thing on. You're up.
All right.
Not right now. When I tell you to.
This is what happens.
No, when I give you when I tell you to do it.
Everyone's.
I could go stopwatch on that and hit start, and when I get to 11 and a half, where we got to wrap it down. Okay. I could have a stopwatch on this one, but I'll have to go back over to it. I won't have the alarm. Boof. You have your phone?
Yeah.
Help me out. We're gonna do 30-second synopsis on your phone, and we'll do the timer. I can do the timer on my phone.
Do you want my 30-second synopsis to be audible? Obviously. Stupid question.
Meow meow. What?
Do you want like a sound when the 30 seconds is up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt, man.
I usually am all sounds off on live, but I'll turn it up.
That'll help. Okay. I'll tell you when you have the 30-second synopsis ready.
Okay.
All right. Phil, I'm ready whenever you are. I got it on here.
Let's start at 26:30.
Okay.
And then I'll let you.
You got your. Well, hold on though. Remember, you got to do your stuff for him. We're going to sing our wings.
Oh, is that how we're starting?
Yeah, we're going to start right now.
Okay.
So are we starting with the intro, or we're just singing?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get so far. Like you sang that song for a while. Like we don't have to sing that song that long.
We do.
Okay. I'll probably start talking over you.
You're welcome, everybody.
Do you want him to start halfway through the verse then, or start from the very beginning? There's like 45 seconds of verse.
Well, he just needs the. We gotta have that.
Okay, that does not exist in this version, but you can do it anyways.
Well, what's this version sound like? He just hit play on it.
It's like the radio version of it.
From the day Elton John, Tim Rice.
Well, do this. Go get start it over. Start it over then. Okay, so go back ahead of it. And he's gonna do the Osavina part, and we'll do a little bit, and then just hit play whenever you're ready for him to stop doing that.
Okay. From the day we
so we'll start
arrived.
I gotta have that out of you, Bill Gaither. I mean, all right. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh my gosh! What happened?
Okay, so we have to go 11 and a half minutes. So let's start at 28, and we'll end at 49:30.
28.
Yep, start at 28.
And I'm starting with
starting it.
Hit right on 28.
Ha! Savinia, great timing. From the day we arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun, there's more to be seen than could ever be seen, more to do than could ever be done. Some say eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as they join the stampede.
What's up, Mufasa?
You should never take more than you give. In the circle of life, it's a wheel of fortune. It's a leap of faith. It's a path of hope till we find our place on this path unwinding. In the circle of
Welcome to the Horror Movie Podcast. My name is Jack. Thanks for tuning in to this. This is pretty unbelievable. We have the actual. We have Phil Collins here with us. Is that who sang the original? Elton John sang the original.
soundtrack. We got that Phil
We got
Collins.
Phil Collins not mixed with him. How long was that rendition? Was it 2 minutes?
Yeah, pretty
People
close.
on the radio are like, "What is happening?"
You guys are welcome.
What am I
Really
listening
good,
to?
Paul Hufft. What an entrance! The best entrance of all time.
I do what I can.
No one will ever top that entrance here on the show. We have Paul in the house. We have Phil is here as well. Phil, thoughts on your favorite Disney movie ever? What is it? Of any kind. It can be Pixar. It can be animated. It can be a TV show, movie, whatever.
For the longest time,
Disney-ish.
more than a decade, it used to be Aladdin. But honestly, and this probably surprised you guys, but Tangled is actually my favorite now. I love
Tangled is
Tangled.
really
That's
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Having a daughter will do that to you. I've seen that movie probably 400 times now. My oldest loves it.
The-
Tangled's really
The
good.
plot, the acting, the singing, all the songs are phenomenal. It's a great movie.
Yes.
It's cool.
You're looking kind of chubby. I love Tangled. It's good.
My dog knows the
Oh my
best.
gosh.
Listen to your mumsy.
I think the Pixar stuff is probably my favorite. I mean, there's just a bevy of them.
Monsters,
that I
Inc.
like things like that.
Yeah.
I've said this before to several people. I am not as big of a fan as the Disney animated stuff. A lot of people are big on the animated stuff, big on the Pixar stuff, big on the live action things that are happening right now. Are I'm not sure what to think of them. Right?
I
And
got you.
we're going to talk about that in length today. Because today we're talking about The Lion King, the new 2019's The Lion King.
Live action.
And when we talked about you coming on the show,
Yes.
we were talking about movies, and we have seen this movie. And we said, because we have children, I have a kid, and you have a couple kids, and Phil's got a kid.
Kids.
And a kid.
You've got a kid.
And we have some
I've got a
kids.
kid. We've all got
Kids.
kids.
And we let's talk about this movie. I again, not a huge fan of the animated stuff anyway. And then when you start doing the live action stuff, I go into a little bit of cash grab mode where I'm like, is this really just a cash grab?
Yeah.
We've talked. Phil and I talked about Aaron Dice. We're talking about it being some of these have. Up until this one, right? Is that the statement that you're going off of?
Yeah, on Sip Pop, Aaron was saying that he didn't really ascribe to the cash grab theory of these movies until this one. Like this was the first one that he saw where he's just like, yeah, I'm starting to understand what people are saying.
Yeah, so I'll say this. The original animated 90s, I'm a 90s kid. The original Lion King is my favorite movie of all time. I love it. I told you guys this. I still watch it every time I stay homesick from work or with a kid at homesick from work. Like, we watch that movie. I love that movie. And so far, with all the live action films, I've been pleasantly surprised. I thought Beauty and the Beast was, this is blasphemous to some, but maybe even a little bit better. Like, it went kind of more into detail of the story, and there was some good stuff there. I was fine with What's the other one that came out? Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin. I was fine with Aladdin.
I
I wasn't sure that Aladdin was going to be that good.
Well,
Aladdin surprised me.
here's what I'm gonna tell you
maybe
about
because I had low expectations.
What happened
for, it,
for me on Aladdin was that Will Smith reminded me that he's pretty good.
he is good.
Like, he has mega talent. And I know people are like, oh, it's Will Smith, blah, blah. No, he pulled that off.
Yeah,
A very tough
for
role
sure.
to do because the
Robin
Robin
Williams
Williams
is
shadow over that one.
Good grief.
Heads
That's
up.
like the most iconic. I mean, you could argue that that's one of the most iconic roles ever. Like his,
Just because
him
of what
doing,
it is. It's like not like something you just go out and do. It's
exactly.
not like you're playing.
Like
Yeah,
to
you're playing
follow
a
Robin
fictitious.
Williams and be able to
you're
pull it
playing a-
off is something amazing.
You're playing a fictional character.
But this Lion King live action was the first film where I felt like, man, they really missed the mark.
Okay,
Just
well,
personally.
we're going to talk about that. That's good. We talked again. We talked about in the actor spotlight this week. We talked about James Earl Jones. He reprises his role in this. Is he the only original person that reprised his role?
As far as I know, the answer to that question is yes. I looked through. I didn't see anybody else. Rafiki, is he the same?
Rafiki might be the same, but we'll look through that.
I'm not sure. I don't think Rafiki's the same either.
I don't
So
think-
I literally think it's James Earl Jones. That's it. And to me, like, if you're going to bring back James Earl Jones, which I think you have to because it's James Earl Jones, like, you can't have another voice be Mufasa. But there's some other voices that are equally iconic that you have to have in this movie. Like, especially Jeffrey Irons' Scar. That is so... him in that role is so good. And to not have that, like, kind of bite in the voice there...
The original
I missed
Rafiki
it.
was an actor by the name. Oh gosh, I haven't lost it just now. I'm so stupid. He an actor that's passed away actually. Robert. I'm gonna misspell. I'm gonna missay his name. Gilliam. He has passed away, so he is not available for this role.
So that's why he's...
Available for this role. And Pumbaa was actually played by the original Pumbaa, Seth Rogen. He actually morphed from Pumbaa on the original movie. He was actually the warthog, and he actually has come to life
became
and
Oh,
became
no.
he became an animated warthog. I said it, Seth Rogen. If you're listening to this, I'm actually shocked that you were able to make it to this movie without just turning into Seth Rogen, because I feel like that's the only character
It kind of was Seth
that
Rogen.
he kept from doing that. He has this weird gravel thing that he does with his voice, like he's
Yeah.
fighting back like a big flimwad. And I think he survived.
He
through
has
it.
really bad acid reflux, so it's give him a break,
It's a
okay?
thing.
Prilosec
definite-
sponsorship.
It's a definite thing.
Big Prilosec sponsorship. But let's talk about this first. One housekeeping thing I want to do right off the top of the show here. I have owed several things to a man by the name of David Stoltzman.
The David Stoltzman.
He's the best. He is the
Thanks,
best
David.
fan we have. There is no, David, if you're watching this on YouTube, there is no better fan of this show than David Stoltzman. There is none. Maybe Phil, but he has to be here.
Phil's
But David,
required.
I have a shirt for you. All three people here are going to sign it. I'm
gonna sign it.
I got, what's his name? Jake Wilburn to sign it
What's
this
his
morning.
name? What's his
And
name?
we're
Our
sending
friend
this shirt. Can you
Jake
see this on the
Wilburn.
camera?
Yeah, I zoomed in on it.
Okay, got it. We got this shirt. I'm mailing it to you, bro. You have been the best fan ever, and we love you for it. We'll do anything for you. Love it. So we're getting a shirt. Send it your way, and you've earned it, sir. I've owed it for a while to you, so you're getting it, brusky. And just wanted to point that out.
Yeah,
We're pumped.
coming your way.
Pumped coming your way. So check this out. We are 2 minutes away from the break. Let's do a quick time for some deeds. The details of the movie The Lion King. In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
The lion sleeps tonight.
Directed by Happy Hogan, John Favre. Brett Favre.
Favreau.
John Favreau. Produced by Jeffrey Silver, not to be confused with one Silver that's the NBA commissioner. And Jeff Nathanson as screenplay creator. Based on The Lion King, which is The Lion King. You all know this. I don't have to explain that to you. Starring Donald Glover. Donald Glover, we're going to talk about his acting in this in length. He actually played Donald Glover in this movie. Like, he really didn't stray anywhere from a normal Donald Glover performance. Seth Rogen was in
When
this
they
movie.
added "This Is America" to the soundtrack for this film, I was really disappointed. I felt like that needed to be. I'm joking.
This is a, they did a spin off that song called "This Is Africa." This is Africa.
I'm gonna keep going. All right, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh my goodness.
I always do that.
So cultured.
So cultured. Alfred Woodard, Billy Eichner, John Caney, John Oliver, John.
Eichner.
Again, you, my friend, are in this movie. Congratulations. You are in this. Was he? Who did he play?
He played Zazu.
Zazu, which makes so much sense. John, great job. You made it into this movie. Congratulations. Beyonce, she showed up and she sang. Good singing because she's a great singer. And she voice acted her way. Basically, it seemed like voice acting equivalent to like a Fern Gully or like, I don't know. I know she's the Queen Bee and everyone's excited about that. And then also James Earl Jones, obviously. We'll come back after the break and we're going to talk more about The Lion King 2019. And we'd be gone. We'd be back. Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
Sorry, lost track. Got into ripping on John Oliver, who we love.
Are we even doing a 30-second synopsis on this movie?
Yeah,
Everyone knows this plot, right?
that's fine.
That's going to be my 30 second synopsis.
No.
What he just said. It's a Lion King. We don't have to tell you. All right. Time for some deets.
Yeah, we gotta come back with some deets.
Let's go
30
from,
seconds on
Let's go
off.
from 40 up. 40-0-0-0.
And we're back. Welcome to the Horror Movie Podcast. My name is Jack. Thanks for tuning in and downloading. We have Paul Hufft here.
And it is a pleasure to be here.
We have director, producer, chief cook and bottle washer, Phil Sousa. Lead singer of the Sousaphonics, the biggest swing
Ska.
dance band, ska band
Ska band.
on the East Coast for at least 5 years. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Phil, thanks for coming in.
Glad
Thank
you're
you.
here.
But we are coming back talking about The Lion King 2019. We're in the middle of the time for some deets. And I left off, the music is by, I normally wouldn't point out the music, but Hans Zimmer
Hans Zimmer.
did the music for this one and the original. Good job, Hans.
There's somebody who was brought back from the original.
Yes, there's one.
Yeah.
Release date of July 19th, 2019. A runtime of 118 minutes. It didn't feel that long to me. And then a budget of $260 million. $259 million of that was Beyonce's retainer to get her to come into the studio. And then box office of $962 million.
What?
$962
And it's
million.
still going.
And it's still going. It's a big movie.
It's still
People can
That
be
thing's going to make
critical.
over $1 billion.
We can be
actively
critical.
in theaters.
And
Yeah, man.
We can be critical. People can be critical, but it's still going to make $1 billion.
Oh my
just
goodness.
off of it being the Lion King.
And I
That's
say,
why it's $1 billion.
$1 billion. So there you go. There it is. 30-second synopsis. Paulatino,
Yes, sir.
would you like to do 30-second synopsis?
I mean, I guess so. You tell me when to
Let me
start.
see see this machine here. I'm gonna hit start. The Lion King 2019. You have to do this version. You can't do the 2000 or the 1994 version. It has to be along with this lines of this movie.
All right, fine.
Ready? 5,
Sure.
4, 3, 2, 1. Lion King.
Mufasa, the king of the Pride Lands, has a young son named Simba. For those of you that don't know the plot of this story, he is trying to raise Simba up the right way, but he has a crazy brother named Scar who wants to be king. And so he comes up with a plot that he will get the hyenas on his side and kill both Mufasa and Simba so that he can take the throne. He has Mufasa killed, stages his death, chases Simba away, only to turn the Pride Lands into complete devastation. Nala, Simba's young love, goes and finds him, brings him back home. He fights for the victory and wins.
Great job. You win a prize. You know what that prize is?
Pound
You
bag.
get to take Pumbaa home.
Yes. Do we have a plush Pumbaa somewhere? The real Pumbaa. Stand downwind.
So, there it is. So let's talk about this movie, The Lion King. First things first. Where does this rank in rankings of Disney movies? I know there's so many we can't really rank them all. But let's talk about this. Is this in the upper echelon of Disney movie, of things Disney's created?
This or the original?
This.
No.
This show, we're talking about this movie.
I know, but
On my other podcast, Disney Animated, we're talking about the 1994 animated movie.
No, it cannot. Sorry.
Okay.
It doesn't.
So, 100. What would the number? What would the number one-esque movie? What would a movie in the conversation of number one Disney movie ever be?
I mean,
The
we
original
know
Lion
Paul's.
King.
Yeah.
The original Lion
Okay,
King.
what's another one?
I mean, we already talked
Toy
about
Story?
this on the Actor Spotlight.
I would
but
say Toy Story.
Toy Story?
As far as
we-
Disney creations.
we talked about this on segment 1, but yeah, Tangled for me, Aladdin. I mean, a lot of people
Well, no,
say
I'm saying personal. I'm saying without our own personal spin on it.
yeah. Oh,
That's
just
your
the
personal.
greatest.
Like when you really you take yourself out of this, of my opinion, and go, the 30,000-foot view. What's actually the best thing Disney's ever created?
I mean, Beauty and the Beast. A lot of the princess ones, honestly,
I mean, for
those
me,
are still.
for me, it's the Lion King. It just is. But I've said that.
Emperor's
I'll
New
stand by
Groove. We
that.
kind of mentioned that earlier.
There's lots of good movies out there. I mean, you said it. Beauty and the Beast.
All the
Little
Pixar stuff.
Mermaid. Like, there's some big
I would put
movies in there.
40 or 50 Disney movies above this one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
There's
it's
a ton out there.
like, are you going to rewatch this?
No, I'll never. My son won't want to rewatch this.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
But
I don't
people
watch
are
it.
rewatching it because to get to $962 million, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
you have to have rewatches. Like once it gets over 500 million, 500 million, you can have a one-watch deal where a bunch of people watch it and they go, like for that big of a budget, you get into that $900 million deal. Like that's
People are seeing it
you
more
get to
than
$1
once.
billion. There's multiple times. Which again, that would never cross my mind to watch this twice. Okay, well, very good. Let's talk about this. The Pride Lands are owned by King Mufasa and Queen Sarabi. They are in charge. The family has done it, and I have never in my life seen a group of animals that are potentially the prey of another animal be so excited about, I'm a giraffe, and man, I am so glad he's our king. Oh my gosh. At any moment, is it because at some point, you answer me this, guys, is it at some point Mufasa could turn on them and be like, your lunch?
I think they all are.
Is that where they're like, yeah, all the zebras are clapping hooves together?
I think they all
And
understand.
all the monkeys are like, oh yeah,
that
you're
they
right,
are
you're the
together
boss.
in this thing, in the circle of life. They all have their role.
They get it.
They get it.
They listen.
They all fit.
Listen, at some point Mufasa could turn on me,
And I
eat
might
me,
die.
and then hey, we're gonna end up going through his digestive system. Okay, well, I got
Yes.
SEC here. We gotta be smart here. Digestive system, and end back up on Earth, and then grow grass, and the giraffe eats it, and then
Yes.
eat me now, Mufasa, eat me.
He actually addresses
Things
this
have
in
to
the
happen.
movie. Like he says something like, like Simba says like, hey, don't we have to eat the antelope? And he's like, yeah, like the ones we don't know. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how he says it, but like, yeah, not your cousin, but
The hyenas have a weird place that they live. We find out that Scar is the estranged brother, and Scar makes reference that he tried to fight Mufasa at one point.
He does in the live feature. He does.
Like at the beginning of the movie?
Like when he's.
No, I'm saying Scar makes a reference to him. Scar's talking, and he says, you're the king, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then Mufasa makes a reference that says, you're not going to try to challenge me again, are you?
Yeah, that's early in the movie.
But that means to me that Scar probably got that scar
From Mufasa.
going, look, I
Sure.
can, bite your head off. I'm Mufasa. Hashtag don't mess with me.
Don't you?
He actually said that.
Yeah.
And he then
I'm a lion.
yeah, right.
I'm the lion.
And so he's like, okay, I'm not going to mess with you. I'm Scar, but luckily I'm the criminal element to this movie. So I'm going to go to the Badlands. Okay, the shade. What's it called? Elephant's Graveyard. What's it called?
Elephant's Graveyard.
Shadow
is
something or other. Don't go where the shadows are. Whatever.
Whatever.
And then little did you know that he has a gang, and that gang is the hyenas.
Yeah.
They are, and there is crew. He goes there. Who's the head hyena? Who's the head hyena in this?
The girl, right?
The girl hyena.
Why am I?
Shinzi.
Yes.
Is she?
Shinzi.
Is the lead hyena in the original a female?
The lead hyena in the original is Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh,
The
okay.
female, Shinzi. And
Okay.
she's the
Wow.
leader.
How did I forget that?
Yeah.
I feel like do we know Whoopi didn't want to return?
I don't know, because I'm telling you, if you're going to bring back James Earl Jones, which we've said, I think you have to do that. Like, no one else can be that voice. There's some other characters that you can bring back that are, like, super important, and I think she was one of them. Like, she played a major role in the first movie, and all the hyenas like, they all did, and the hyenas in this movie, I feel like, were super disappointing. Like, they provided such a comedic element in the first movie, and yeah, obviously they were bad guys, but they kind of walked this balance. In this movie, it's just like, there was none of that. And they tried. They brought in Keegan-Michael Key as one of the
But they didn't really turn him loose and let him do his thing.
And they did that whole thing about, like, you're in my space. And, it
That
was a
really wasn't
gimmick.
that funny.
No, it
Yeah, that
wasn't.
joke
That's
never
what I'm saying.
landed.
It never did, and it just wasn't that good, to be honest.
Well, so the Scar, we find out there's a young lion cub that is born, and it is Simba. And Simba is going to become the king. Well, Scar, I think, in the back of his mind, thought, I'm going to get a shot to be king if I can just get rid of Mufasa, and as long as they don't have another child. Well, too bad. Here comes this kid. So he kind of befriends Simba a little bit, though, just to basically kind of give him the runaround, try to put him in a couple situations to maybe get killed, so then he can kill Mufasa.
yeah.
Was this scary to any of you two? Did you two cry when you saw the hyenas that were maybe going to eat Mufasa or eat Simba?
I made the comment to my wife that I think our 3-year-old would have been very afraid of some of the scenes. There's there's actually like a jump scare at one point, and she would have definitely been pretty afraid.
Scared of that?
Yeah, there were some young kids in our theater, not as young as she is. She's 3, so.
I cried whenever I saw hyenas.
Oh, wow.
They were scary. I started to tear up a little bit.
Yeah. It was
And then my son, my 8-year-old, said, "Dad, what are you doing?" I was like, I got.
He said, "Toughen up, Dad."
I've got something in my eye. I got salt from this popcorn in my eye. So then they try to kill Simba. The hyenas do, and then Mufasa shows up and scares the hyenas. Later on, he sets up an even bigger trap, by the way. And I was a little bit... I had to basically suspend reality for this. Because the king of the jungle...
You did?
Listen, yeah. The king of the
Animals are
jungle...
talking the entire movie. You had to suspend reality.
This is the
for it?
this is the moment.
This is the point.
Before this, I was
Okay.
cool with. I was totally
Everything
fine
was
with
like
this.
totally happening.
But then he starts. The water buffalo are sent on a. Are they water buffalo?
Sure.
Wildebeests.
Wildebeest.
The wildebeests have a stampede. And the hyenas started. They come down the valley. We get Simba out there on a limb, and then that makes Mufasa have to go save him. Mufasa seemed pretty stupid in this moment. Mufasa seemed very dumb in this moment to crawl down there the way he did. He saw Mufasa there on the limb.
Simba.
Hey, Simba! Yeah, Simba on the limb. Hey, Simba! Stay there! Looks like you're okay. Just hang on. No. Mufasa bravely, quote unquote, goes down into the valley, dodging, weaving around these wildebeests who don't stop for him. I think they'd be equally as scared of Mufasa if he just reared back and rah! I think they'd stop.
But I mean, at that point, they're stampeding. So I think
We don't know that.
Sure, they are.
You have to suspend your disbelief here.
Okay, but I'm just saying, in that moment, a whole entire herd of wildebeest stampeding.
This is
probably
a
not
talking
thinking.
lion. You've already said that yourself.
You think he's like, hey, everybody,
Well,
calm
he
down.
could.
My son's maybe he could. You're right.
Right?
You're right.
They're all
But
scared
he-
of him.
you know,
he
does-
could
his
eat
parents
all of
can
them. He
do
could
it.
eat 2 of them before they even knew what happened to him.
This also happened in the original. Are you saying you didn't like it from the original?
Yeah, that was stupid too.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he's crawling up, and he crawls up. Like, there's a point where he could have just stayed on the ledge and let him pass. Like, there's a point where he's already up on the side. He just keeps climbing dumbly up the hill. And of course, when he gets to the top, Scar, the ultimate bad guy, is gonna be like, I'm gonna kick you in the face and put my claws in your paws, and you're gonna fall back
The fact
and
that
get
you're
run
upset
over.
about this is
Well, it's
cracking
just
me up.
dumb. It's dumb. And then here's the best part.
Jack could have fit on the door at the end of Titanic.
Here's the best part. Well, he could. We've made that point on this show.
Yeah, it's true.
Then here's this one. Simba, you are a cub. You don't know any better. How stupid was Simba? I mean, just dumb in this moment. Just dumb.
Yeah.
His Uncle Scar goes, "This is your fault. Your fault." What'd you think about that? When he said that? Put yourself in Simba's shoes.
Yeah.
Would you have reacted so dumb to be like, run away? Okay, ow.
I don't know. I mean,
He's a
you know,
kid.
he's a little kid.
He's a lion.
He's, you know, he feels bad. He thinks his dad just died. He thinks it's his fault anyways. And here comes Scar, the guy that he thinks he can trust because it's his uncle. And hey, it's all your fault. Run away.
You guys.
Jack thinks that,
Sorry, Jack.
that children are too naive.
They are. So then
Stupid child.
Then Simba
Dumb
goes
boy.
off into the wilderness. He's crying. Oh, he's gonna die in the desert in a ball. Oh, poor me. Oh, I did it. I can't go back. And then he sees in the distance. Hey, no, he doesn't see him in the distance, does he?
No, he's like sleeping, and they
And
run up. The vultures start.
The vultures surround him, and then out of nowhere comes Seth Rogen. And I assumed James Franco.
Billy Iger.
I assumed James Franco and Seth Rogen.
That would have been a good pair.
You're right. But it wasn't. It was now what's it Eisner been? Billy Eisner been.
Billy Eichner.
Eisner.
He's a comedian. Who
He's
has
on
a
Parks
voice,
and Rec.
yes.
That makes sense.
I thought
Okay.
Eichner was funnier than Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
I did too.
Seth Rogen.
I will say this: like Seth Rogen was pretty Seth Rogen in this role, but it kind of fits really well for a warthog. So I thought those two were kind of a strength to the movie.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
out of like some of the failures I think they had in like characters to that point, I felt like they actually added to the movie. They made it better.
Yeah, I don't think any 2019 actors did better than those two.
For sure.
You're saying you guys keep saying actors.
They were animals.
This is footage. This is found footage in the desert. I thought.
Yeah.
Didn't they find this as found footage?
Yeah, this
That's weird.
This is actually Discovery Channel footage.
That's funny.
From,
That would have been even better if they put this on. We're trying to put a 2019 spin on this. It's found footage, and if the camera was all shaky. Like, well, who
I
filmed
can't
this?
believe I'm this close.
Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall's Lost Films.
Oh my gosh.
All right, sorry. So anyway, so then he ties on with Timon and Pumbaa,
Hakuna Matata.
and they sing Hakuna Matata for apparently 10 years.
Yeah.
They just sang it straight through.
I thought that line was funny. He kind of makes
That was the funny
Yeah.
thing he said. You've
You've been
grown
singing this
like
for 10 years.
You've grown like 300 pounds or 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Since we started singing this song.
There's some
Yeah.
good meta jokes like that. When you say sing, you mean that loosely, right? There are a lot of talking lines during these songs.
That's what
When
that
they're
was
not
a
even
major
singing.
weakness. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I had a huge problem with early in the movie too. And I know we kind of moved a little past it.
No,
but like
it's fine.
when
I
Scar
kinda went on a
sings
rant.
his
I don't know if you guys
song with
remember
the
or not, but I
hyenas,
kinda
like
went
it's
on a
not really. He doesn't sing really any of it. He's talking through the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's an iconic moment in the
Yeah.
original movie. Like Jeffrey Irons singing that song, he's really talented and really good.
Yeah.
And like singing that song is a huge moment, and like it just completely missed in this.
But
I feel like they got direction to not sing. Like when he sings that last line, "Be prepared," whatever, at the very end of the song,
Yeah.
he sounds great. So why wasn't he singing
I
the
don't know.
entire time? I think like probably Jon Favreau or whoever was directing that moment was
Like,
like,
we don't need to sing this.
I don't want you to sing like half the song.
Well,
like that's the
it
whole
was a
point though,
mistake.
Lion
Yeah.
King. Like,
It was a mistake because it.
isn't that weird? Like,
Yeah.
that's really weird to me that if that is the case, that he's like, don't sing.
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of tied on John to do a musical.
It is a
essentially.
musical.
I mean, and it actually is a musical. There's a Lion King
for sure.
on Broadway.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
weird choice.
that was bad. In both of
It
those
was weird,
instances,
like,
yeah, for sure.
You should have
Well,
more
you think
vocals.
about like okay, so Nathan Lane plays the original
Timon.
Timon, and he's like, and I thought Billy Eichner sang pretty well even in this.
Yeah.
But like, he's
Nathan Lane
Tony
can
Award winning,
flat out sing.
just
They went more with actors and names. Now,
Yeah,
Billy
and I
Billy
just-
is not like a big name, but a lot of the other guys they cast in here are big names. Now, Beyonce, they could have had her just sing the parts, and then had, I don't know, what's Zendaya? What's her name?
Zendaya. Do it.
Maybe
They could
she
have had
could
Zendaya sing the parts, and
she can sing
you know
too.
what? She would have been a good casting for
And then
that.
acted it.
Yeah, she would have been a good casting
Anyway.
for that.
Anyway.
But instead, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, put Beyonce in this movie, and you're gonna love it because it's Beyonce.
This
All my
movie is-
single ladies.
This movie is a victim of bad casting.
Oh, I'm a single lady.
Well, and it's just casting. Like, they're just casting for that name sometimes.
I mean, come on.
Donald Glover, we talked about this. Whenever Simba grows at the end of that song, by the time he ends, he's Donald Glover now. He's not the child doing the thing. What are your thoughts quickly we have about 30 seconds, and we'll come back to it. Donald Glover, thumbs up or thumbs down on his role?
So in this role, I say major thumbs down.
Major thumbs down.
But I like Donald Glover. Like, he's super talented. He can do all sorts of
Yeah.
things. And he's shown to be a good actor, but not... Like, in this, he literally... Like, he was just Donald Glover. I'm a lion. This is Donald Glover the Lion.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk more about Donald Glover. We're also going to talk more about The Lion King 2019. And it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great
Circle
place
of
for you.
crap.
Circle of... Oh, my gosh. We'll be right back.
Sorry.
All right.
We're gonna start at 59:30 and go until 1:18.
Pal. We're going, YouTube fans, if you're fans, YouTube folks that you're watching tonight, we're so excited. We're going to a WWE live wrestling event.
Yeah, dude.
We're
By the
pumped.
way,
gonna take
David
a chair to the
Stoltzman.
head.
David Stoltzman is in the chat, and he can say only what I can assume in German means thank you.
David-
This is Danke dir. Danke dir. I don't know how to
How
pronounce
dare
it.
you?
I know. I'm not very cultured either.
Well,
I am, and that says thank you very much.
you're the best,
Oh,
buddy.
okay.
I don't know. That's true.
Did I miss my mark?
That's right.
It's okay.
We're gonna go at straight up 60
Straight up 60.
minutes.
Yeah.
Did I miss my mark?
I missed
Have
it.
I missed the mark? I just really suspend
I love that.
This has been my.
at this
I'm
point.
judging.
Up until then.
I'm judging how they act or how they're doing it. Welcome back, folks. It's the Horror Movie Podcast. We were talking about The Lion King. In this segment, we're going to finish talking about the plot. We are also going to rate this thing on a scale of 1 horrible to 5 horribles and talk about goods and bads. And then we will wrap up with a special treat at the end. Another song. We started this.
Yes.
If you're just now listening to this, you missed the vocal stylings of Paul Hufft. You're going to want to go back either on YouTube or go back when the podcast drops on Thursday, right? And listen. So anyway, excitement, true excitement. Go to Apple Podcast. Everywhere you get your podcast. So we're talking about The Lion King. We have Paul Hufft here. We have Dr. Phil Sousa, who's manning the phone lines. We have a caller on line 2.
Hi, my name is Donald Glover, and I heard what you said about my voice acting, and I want you to know that I had 30 seconds to prepare before I said any of my lines.
So they just called you up and said, "Show up, Donald." Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man. It's Donald Glover. Listen.
So I honestly, I agree with Paul. Like, Donald Glover is a phenomenal actor. Like, Emmy
Rapper, musician,
nominated,
he's
possibly.
great.
Like, Community and what was that? Atlanta, I think was
Yeah,
the name of
Atlanta,
the show.
yep, that's right.
Like, and like, you know, obviously vocal chops. Like, he is a star. And so when I'm watching this movie,
And deserves to be, yeah.
Yeah, and when I'm watching this movie and it's just like literally just him in front of a mic just reading lines, I was like, what is going on here? Like, I know he's capable of much more than this, but he will never get another voice acting job ever again if people are watching this movie.
He shouldn't.
Yeah, it was terrible.
He literally just
Can you
read
hit
his
some?
lines.
Hit some. Let's do this. I'll be Scar.
Okay.
In this moment, in this heightened moment where
Okay.
Simba comes back, has had a change of heart. He sees his reflection, and he sees his father's reflection in the pool. He goes into that same space that apparently Black Panther can go into, and the Lion King can all go into this weird meta, otherworldly place. It's like a Jedi Force Ghosts, basically,
Yeah.
place. And he goes there and he talks to his dad, and his dad basically goes, "Go back and claim the throne." We go back, and he challenges Scar. The lightning has struck, okay, and everything's on fire. Okay, we're setting up the scene here. I'll be Scar.
Yes.
Oh, Simba, what are you doing here? I'm the king now.
I came back to take my throne.
Well, I'm not going to let it happen. These hyenas will get you.
You don't have a choice. It's rightfully mine.
But you tell them what you did. You know it's your fault that Mufasa died.
It's true.
Yes, get out of here.
But it was an accident.
Well, no, I saw Mufasa's eyes right before he fell.
But it's not. Wait, what? You saw his eyes?
No. And then what's his mom's name? Sarabi. What do you mean you saw Mufasa's eyes? I mean, I didn't. I was. Oh no! I'm gonna kill you. I'm the king.
Tell him the truth.
No.
Tell him what you did.
Okay, I did it. Oh my gosh! I clawed his hands and he fell, and I loved every second of it.
You gotta run away now.
No.
Or we're gonna fight.
No.
All right.
Scene.
Here it comes.
And scene. All right, there you go. Thank you.
That was I'm ready for the role. Somebody sign me up. I'm like, let's
All
do
right,
this.
so-
That was entertaining. for
Sarabi,
me.
if you listen to that, I'm sorry that I made your voice into. I'm not sure what that was.
That was a
All right,
bad
so there you
deal.
go. His acting was a little flat, wouldn't you say?
Yes,
Okay.
to say the least.
And I didn't necessarily expect a lot out of Beyonce, but at the same time, it wasn't great either. Like, she's not an actress. She's
not,
she's
no.
one of the most phenomenal singers.
And when
Ever.
she sang, it was great, obviously,
Yeah.
because she's Beyonce. But her acting chops were not like. She was in Goldmember. You guys remember that?
Oh,
Austin
yeah.
Powers Goldmember, and I literally that's all I could see
Yeah.
when I heard
What was her
Nala
name in
speaking.
that? She was
Who knows?
Something-
Foxy Cleopatra.
Foxy Cleopatra.
Foxy Cleopatra, baby. I'm a whole lot of them. Yeah,
Anyway, so
wasn't very
it
good.
suffered from that. So, guys, spoiler alert: Simba comes back. He abandons his paradise world with Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon.
Timon
How's
and
that coming
Pumbaa.
out? How was that coming out? With
Timon and Pumbaa, dude.
They
And the
came
Good
back.
Burger Hut, man.
They came back.
So they came back, and anyway, but he abandoned this world of eating grubs. By the way,
Yeah.
how is a lion growing by eating just veggies?
There's a lot of grubs every day.
Seriously,
Slimy yet
gross.
satisfying.
And
Lots
then,
of them.
so then
The other animals are like, I don't know if we can be friends.
they got to the point where they weren't.
Yeah.
They got to the point where they're like, we're still a little leery. And then whenever his lady friend shows up,
I don't think you're gonna be eaten.
yeah, exactly. And so then he goes back. Like we said, we acted this part out already. I don't even need to talk about it. And so he goes back and he takes back his kingdom, The hyenas had started to hunt. They had several years of just hunting to where they took over the whole
Yeah, they
place.
weren't-
And they were gutting all the animals. They all belonged to Scar.
No restraint.
Scar, Scar had tried different things to try to reach out. It's not in. I'm just reading this off his personality based on this. Scar's personality is a heavy-handed leader. Okay, he doesn't have great people skills other than when he's coming up with smarmy kind of plans. Right. I read some other some addendums to this story, and he had a comment box that he had created. He's trying to reach out. It's not a normal thing for him. He started a blog to talk about the jungle and everything.
A vlog.
He had a website that talked about the programs he was going to start and promote. He was really trying to reach out. And then Simba came back and kind of messed that up a little bit.
Yeah.
He was starting to grow as a person. And really, Simba kind of
He
screwed
wanted
that
to
up.
improve the infrastructure.
He ran on
Pride Lanes.
an infrastructure based idea. Like,
Policy.
we
Yeah.
just got to really. Hey, it's what do you stand for, Scar? Let's do a press conference. I'll be Scar. I'm
Okay.
Scar.
Hey, Scar. Quick question. Just want to know.
Make it quick. I'm the king.
Yeah. What exactly are you planning to do with your next reign?
I'm looking. If I were to get reelected, we would improve the infrastructure. We've really got to save more whales. And if saving these whales means shaving these whales, I'm for
Sure, but
these
what
whales.
about the lack of food?
The whales? The shaving of the whales will probably help. Have you checked out my website? I've got a website and a blog. I go over all these policies there.
Okay, but it's been a while since it's rained. Everything is brown.
We're looking. We're looking to pipe water in from the Colorado River, and we're gonna get L.A. water again.
That's a entire continent away.
Sorry, that's the whole thing. All right, and scene. Scar's press conference. So there you go. So Scar ends up losing. Actually, he ends up getting eaten. We assume at the end.
Yeah, it seems that way. Killed by the hyenas because he tried to blame them.
The very hyenas.
This was their idea. I would never have thought of anything like this.
That's his demise in the original movie.
It is.
Right.
It ends very similarly. Yes.
Let's be honest. Most of this movie is exactly the same as the
There's
original.
a lot. There's some so one of the things that really stood out to me. So there's a part like in the original movie in the elephant graveyard. There's a scene where Simba says like Nala's trying to get him to leave. She's like, "Come on, this could be dangerous." And he's like, "Danger? I laugh in the face of danger." Ha ha ha. And that's when the hyenas are introduced because they start laughing. Becomes scary. Well, then at the end of the movie, when he comes back, he's like kind of warning his friends, Timon and Pumbaa, that, hey, this is going to be dangerous. And Nala hits him back with, "Danger? Ha ha ha. I laugh in the face of danger." In the new movie, like that second one was there at the end. Danger, I laugh in the face. Ha ha ha. Like, and if you hadn't seen the first movie, which probably most people have, but if you haven't seen the first movie, you're like, what is that even, relating to? Because that never occurred in the Elephant Graveyard at all, and that was a major, like to me, that was a major omission. Like that should have been there somewhere. That scene not as good, and it just, it was disappointing. I'm disappointed.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's rate this thing on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 horrible being.
Can we do goods and bads first? I think that might color our determination, but
goods and bad.
I want to hear from Paul what one of his goods is. Like, what did you like about this movie?
And bad.
What did I like about this movie?
The CGI.
I thought the CGI was great.
Isn't it amazing what they can do with CGI
And I
now?
will say this, not as good as the original, but as far as just a strength for this movie, I thought Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner did a good job with Pumbaa and Timon. I thought that they added something to the movie. They brought some levity to it in places that needed to be, and they did some of their own kind of original type stuff that like was actually funny and kind of poked fun at other movies and different movies, and so I thought that was a positive. I thought they were good.
The Be Our Guest moment. Was one of the ones.
Yeah, like when they're using Pumbaa as the diversion in the original movie, it's like, "Are you hungry for a bacon juicy pig? Yep. Are you aching? Yep. Oh, some bacon."
We present to you your dinner.
Yes, but this was just like Morning Beauty and Beast, and that was really funny. I thought that was good and unexpected. Even in the part where like he's singing, it's like every time I farted. That's a line. Every time I fart, are you gonna stop me? Like, no. And he's like says it because the original movie doesn't say Pumbaa the kids. So like, there's some moments that are original and funny, and I thought added to the movie. So I thought those two were a strength. I was happy that James Earl Jones was back as Mufasa. I thought you had to have his voice there, so I thought that was good. And then overall, like in the songs they actually did sing, I thought those were decent. I mean, really pretty good even. So
yeah.
Those were positives for me.
I think visuals, and I do this a lot, and Phil knows this, but like the ability that they have now in movies to use CGI.
Yeah.
They could honestly just do animated I'm not saying I want this, but they literally, if they really wanted to, they could just do animated movies and animate everything and probably get away with a lot. Like, it's really expensive, though, to do the high level stuff. That's why the budget is $260 million. I made the joke about Beyonce's retainer on that. But the CGI is what costs so much in this thing. But the visuals, unbelievable. I cannot believe they can make this, because if they'd made this in 1994, live action, what would that look like? I mean, it would have been like, like the fake mouth.
The Wizard of Oz.
Hey, I have a regular line. I'm Mufasa. Hi.
It would be like 3 Men and a Baby, or
Oh my God.
like that kind of stuff.
Look who's talking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that to me, I really the singing parts. Like I said, I don't understand. Okay, here's what happens.
Yeah.
We have this ability to make this unbelievably visually pleasing movie.
Yes.
And then we lose some of the heart of the other way we used to do it, and that's in everything we do now. We used to, I don't know, when I was in college and I would call home or call friends that I was friends with, we would call and we would talk on the phone for hours, right?
Yeah.
Well, now what do? We just kind of text and blah, blah, blah. You miss, it's like the
For
further
sure.
we get along and the more tech we get along with, my phone's exploding now. Speaking of people that would do that, it's those people. Still going. What's happening? Hide this phone. We lose that. Like, we just lose that. And I think that this movie suffers a little bit from that. Like, there's some of the cliched stuff from Lion King's there. Some of the fun aspects of it, are there. But some of the, I don't know, like that childlike wonder part of it is lost on
Yeah.
it. It's
Yep.
kind of
For
lost
sure.
on it. And I think a lot of times when we reboot movies over and over again,
Yeah.
the creativity and the wonder and the fun and the originality is lost, and we're just doing it because that's what we've always done.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I'll say, like, they have done a somewhat decent job in these live action films where they've tried to give them, like, their own twist here and there, and while staying true to the story, because you can't do a completely different story, obviously. But I just feel like you have to be really careful, because if you miss, like, there's that original that has all the nostalgia, that has everything you've kind of built it up to be to fall back on. And so if you miss with some of the original stuff you're going to try to do, it's a big miss. And I just felt like this movie had a lot of those.
Phil and I talk about, and he especially talks about Avatar, the animated show that was on Nickelodeon, right? Airbender.
Yes, I thought you were saying, I went blue people.
I screwed it up.
Yeah, sorry.
So and then they made that Avatar movie, the Airbender movie, and it was god awful, and it was like nothing like. And so his disappointment levels for that movie were like mind boggling. Imagine like I don't know, doing Batman the Animated. Okay, it's Batman the Animated Series, and we're gonna do a movie called, I don't know, they wouldn't do it, but it's called Batman. And it's gonna be the same stuff. We're gonna literally do it exactly, except now we don't do it, and we do it with, I don't know, like the Catwoman movie comes out, and you're like, what the frick was this?
Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Here are my thoughts on, real quick, on just like these remake mania that is Disney right now. I think,
and all studios.
I think some of it is warranted, especially if the movie could benefit from some updating, some improving. But the movies that were like almost nearly perfect, like the original Lion King, I agree, is a nearly perfect animated film. It just leaves me wondering why. Like, why remake a perfect thing? Like, if it's already good and it's still
Well, then if you're
holds
gonna,
up.
you know what I would have honestly been fine with, and I'm not even kidding about this. I would have been fine with seeing a live action version of pretty much just the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you brought back all the same people that you could, and you gave us pretty much the same script, and it was, like, even if you just used
Like, take
the
the original
audio
audio,
from the original movie and just put CGI twist to it, like, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
And I understand that, because then you kind of feel like, well, why would I go see it if not? But I'm saying, like, I would have been more okay with that than, like, some of the huge misses that they had.
Now, what I would have liked to have seen is an animatronic version.
Now the problem is,
Take all the audio from the cartoon
I had a
and put
real
the
issue
animatronic version.
suspending my belief.
So
That's some. By the way, folks, I feel as though that was some of the best work ever.
I wanna
So if
double
you
down.
want to hear that, go back on this episode and really hit me when I'm hitting that plot hardcore. You're really gonna like what I do. If not, then
I want to
whatever.
double down on one thing that Jack said.
Double down, Phil's double down a little bit on the podcast.
We were peaking when you did that. This is like just came in through like total distortion. But yeah, the wonder, the magic,
Childlike wonder.
The original movie is gone once you translate it into like animals that need to look real. I know talking animals aren't real, but like other than that, they look like Discovery Channel, and so like elephants piled on top of other elephants and like towers of giraffes like swaying and stuff like that.
But that's
you
very
can't do
Disney.
that.
That's very Disney.
But-
Disney did things like that.
You have to strip all that stuff out to make something that looks realistic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so now you've just lost all that stuff. Like
True,
it's
but like
just
even
gone.
that scene though, I feel like they did a good job with that scene. They put their own twist on it.
Yeah.
They used all of like the child animals in that scene to kind of do like the animal dance number.
Okay,
that
we
they
got.
did.
Yeah,
I
that's
want to get the
alright.
radio out good here. Actually, you know what? Radio folks, listen up. If you want to hear this very special treat, you're gonna have to download this episode, scrub to the very end, because you're gonna hear something phenomenal. So, radio folks,
Do you want to rate this before we?
rating real quick. But again, the special treat, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be Paul. He's gonna love it.
I'm not sure what's
You're
happening, but I'm
gonna
do
be
it.
sure. So
And it's
my
gonna be
rating of
awesome.
this is a 2. 2 horribles out of 5. 5's the worst. Paul, go.
3.
Yeah, 3.
I was real disappointed.
It
Just
was
was.
disappointing. to me it wasn't so bad that I'm just like, and a lot of remember now I only watched the original Lion King probably once in my whole life. I've watched all of the Disney animated movies probably once.
Yeah.
And that was enough. And honestly, Beauty and the Beast, I can't guarantee you that I've seen the cartoon Beauty and the Beast ever. Like maybe parts of it here and there. I mean, I'm just not going to watch that. So anyway, radio folks, make sure you go to the YouTube and find our station. You can watch us live when we do this. Just go to the Horror Movie Podcast on YouTube and subscribe, please. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you radio, folks. Blah, blah. Okay, so Phil and Paul, two vocally talented individuals. I cannot do it.
Okay.
But we are going to give everyone a special treat.
Hey, this is a surprise for Phil and I.
I'm going to start it.
I don't know.
I'm going to
Phil,
start
do you
it.
know?
No.
I'm going to start it.
Okay.
Phil, you're going to have to fill in the part you can fill in. I don't need any of that. This is going to be all a cappella.
Okay.
Ooh, acapella.
You ready?
Yes.
Oh, we mow, 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 oh, we
In
mow,
the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Oh, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Oh, in the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. I don't know the other words, so Phil will sing a wee. Special treat just for you.
I'm glad you actually knew the lyrics because I wouldn't have been able to
I knew
sing
he at
this.
least knew the first part. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know like the first part of every song ever written, but I don't really know any song all the way through.
Well, very good. Anything you guys have going on? What have you been into lately, Paul? What have you been into? You want to come back to you?
Yeah, come back.
Phil, what have you been into lately?
So, as listeners of the show may have heard from a couple months ago, I was in school for like 2.5 years, and it basically took away like all of my media attention, other than like a few video games here and there. I didn't watch any television. I never went to the theater, so like I'm catching up on stuff that I missed over the last couple of years. So if a movie came out in the last 2 years, I probably haven't seen it.
He just now saw Avengers.
No, he
listen.
still has optimism of the last season of Game of Thrones, so he's excited.
I've been seeing a lot of other stuff, but I still have not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is really weird. My favorite comic book character of all time.
Listen, that is so
Miles
good.
I can't wait to see it, but
It's good.
like guys at work have been like, "Oh, you gotta see this, you guys." So I've been going through this list, right? I just watched the original John Wick
Wow.
last week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
hey.
dude, it is phenomenal, and I cannot wait to watch the other two.
The second one's good. It's really good. I haven't seen the third one yet, but they say it's even better. Like,
Dude, it blew me away. Keanu Reeves is back, like in a big way. Like he
Isn't
is
that weird?
so good.
He is like hardcore, like making it
sure.
happen.
So if for some reason you've slept on those movies, they're absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best action fight scenes I've ever seen. You know what it kind of reminds me of is, and this is going to sound like a weird comparison, but I do think there's a lot to compare it to. Original Jackie Chan fight scenes that would just go on and on and on, and more guys would come in, and more guys would come in, and he's fighting them off with a broomstick or whatever. John Wick feels like that. It feels like a kind of
it's good.
Like an American
they're
version.
really good. If you haven't seen John Wick, you like action, see them. Keanu Reeves, like when I will say, maybe hard to believe, like going into it, but he pulls it off and he does an amazing job.
Yeah.
And he takes it real serious. Like he does some hardcore training to make sure that like everything he does is legit.
It looks real. It's the most real stuff I've seen in a while.
He's got real talent.
So for me now, right?
Yeah, tell me.
So for those of you, I pastor a church. I am a fairly new teacher. I am currently working towards my master's. I am literally, everybody hear this out, I am 2 weeks away from being done with normal coursework.
Dude, that's cool.
And I am so happy for the freedom that is about to bringing me. I also, what I'm really been into lately, I just started coaching high school football.
So
Added
great.
on to staff. And I will say, it has been a blast. I work with some great dudes.
Yeah,
Jack
man.
knows one.
We have so
He's
much
one of them.
fun.
And I'm just trying to learn offense and defense and make sure that I'm coaching my kids up right. But I'm having a blast with it. I'm a big football guy. I love football. Played football. I watched football my whole life. So it's cool to be able to be on this side of things. I honestly never thought I'd have the chance, but I have had it, and it's been pretty great.
It's cool.
So that's me.
I've been into a lot of music lately.
Oh.
Just music in general. Everyone here probably knows that I love music. I play music. Phil plays music. Paul obviously can sing. He just sang here. And my wife plays music. Has recorded some music lately. It's been good. And so really just music. That's what I've been into lately. I'm just trying to gear up for school. I'm ready for summer break again. To be honest with you, I'm ready for summer break.
All right.
But we've all got to go to work.
Yeah.
And we've got to do some things. So anyway, pumped about
Yeah.
school. Football's gonna be fun.
It can be a blast.
But yeah. So anyway, that's about it. That's all I got right there. Anything else? Anybody else? Anything they want to point out that's been fun recently? No. All right. So very good, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Podcast folks, remember, I'm trying to get to 50 reviews on the Apple Podcasts. I think we're at 43 right now. Rate, review, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, take a picture or a screenshot of that review, email it to jack@thehorriblemoviepodcast.com. You'll be in the July drawing for the $50 Amazon gift card. And that's great stuff. Thanks so much, everybody. Like I said, we're just glad you're here, folks. I'm just so pumped that you're here. And listen, just that you want to be part of this. And tell a friend. That's the best way.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is really the best way on podcasts, is what I've learned. You can buy ads, unless you're a celebrity, and then you at least get one listen.
Donald Glover.
You know what I'm saying? At least you get one listen from a lot of people.
True.
Will Ferrell has a podcast. I listened to that at least a couple times. Have you listened to it recently?
Yeah.
The Ron Burgundy one?
Yeah, he recently had one with like some cooking guys.
Oh my gosh.
It was so good.
Anyway, but so you're guaranteed to get at least one listen.
Yeah.
Goldberg at one point had the wrestler Goldberg had a podcast. I don't know if he still does.
Goldberg, also the goalie from the Mighty Ducks.
No, different Goldberg.
Had a great podcast.
But they, he had a podcast, and I did listen to it once, and it
called
was
the Flying V.
no the Goldberg from wrestling.
Oh.
It was bad because all he talked about was nothing about wrestling. Because I think he secretly hates wrestling, but it's what's given him his status.
Yeah.
So he talks about wrestling in a horrible way, and then he just talks about like motorcycles and cars. It's like Jay Leno's podcast, where he talks about denim shirts and jeans that he wears together.
Hey-o.
All right.
It's good to have Paul back.
I miss you guys.
We had
It
him
won't be
in
this long.
for Comic-Con
Paul
back in April, just
he's
a few
been
months
our-
ago.
yeah.
But the last time that he was in studio, get this, you ready? May of last year.
Wow.
It was like 14 months ago.
Guys, I'm telling
So,
you, man.
He
school-
does
school's still
the
going.
road trip stuff with us.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's done about every.
Oh,
Comic-Con
Comic-Con is one of my favorite
I think
things. to do.
everyone but one. I had a baby during one of them.
That's true.
That was a thing.
Well, you were scheduled to do it.
Emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a good time too, by the way.
Yeah.
So welcome back, man. It's good
Hey,
to have you.
glad to be here. Hopefully it won't be that long again.
Very cool.
Plan on it not being. So.
And if you are within earshot of this and you have any stroke at some sort of Comic-Con that's in your area, okay?
Yeah.
Like you have a say in it. Like, say, you guys don't know that wordage?
No, because
It's
I
stroke.
thought we were getting ready to go through the signs of a person having
The
a
stroke,
and
any
how they can
stroke.
save
Like
their lives.
you have say in something, you have stroke. So like at Studio DNA, Phil has stroke because he mixes down every.
Have you ever heard that,
never
Phil?
heard that.
I've literally never heard that.
All right.
I'm just
anyway,
saying.
You guys.
I'm done.
I'm going to use it a lot
I
now.
approve this podcast.
Okay, so yeah. Donald Glover, actually, if you'd seen his facial reactions, he was trying to really emote there, but some it's like flat. Anyway, if you have, maybe you're in charge of something, or maybe you're listening, and you'd like us to come do a panel, if it's really far away, we probably need some transit to come do it. But we would love to come do a panel, or host some things, or be the MCs for something. That'd be fun, right?
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be great to have? Maybe Donald Glover's going to be on a panel somewhere, and we could talk to him, and we can really, Paul could really ask him some questions,
Hey, Donald Glover.
Hard
it's me.
hitting.
hard-hitting
Hey,
questions.
Donald Glover, it's me.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
No, so Donald Glover, why did you act like a Donald Glover cardboard cutout? during the Lion King. Why?
Yeah, I misunderstood what they were asking me to do. I thought it was the Donald Glover in Cats, and didn't realize until afterwards that it was the lion.
Speaking of cats, by the way, the funniest thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, the funniest thing I've seen in a while, people's reactions to the first thing they've seen of Cats, the movie, and they're like, wait, it's people dressed up as cats?
It's like, have you never seen
Would you
Cats?
think it was going to be 9 Lives with a talking cat? Like, what did you think it was going to
Maybe
be?
they thought with the recent CGI live action that it was going to be
Meow.
Look at this little cat. Throw it over to the tap.
Isn't that weird? Like, anyway, people, you got to know what they've apparently never seen Cats.
What did you expect?
Cat.
All right.
We're cat.
Cats. All right. Thanks, guys. Paul, thanks. Come back anytime. Phil, you're the best. Better than the rest.
You smell good.
You smell good, man.
Real good.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
I look like a honey glazed ham in these lights.
Bye.
Start